You cannot go back and change the beginning, but you can always start where you are and change the ending. Hi, I'm Nikitha and I'm a chef by profession. And in so many ways, this has become such an integral part of who I am today. So, just to tell you a little bit about my journey, it started absolutely accidentally. I was a 13-year-old kid who loved experimenting in the kitchen. One of my friends used to always travel a lot internationally, and they bring back all these, exotic ingredients, and they had no idea what to do with it. And neither did I, because I was a kid. And I would spend a lot of time in their kitchen, and I ended up making a simple vanilla sponge at the age of 13. I made this for Mother's Day, and it turned out so well. Not only did I like the process of it, I love eating the cake too. So that's where a sense of self-discovery began. This is the little me. What happened is that I developed this sense of interest, which later became my passion, and I always had this childlike curiosity. What is this? What is that? What happens if you mix these two? Because baking is a science, and that always fascinated me, that always interested me. And this is when I used to watch MasterChef Australia. I used to binge watch the show as a kid. I was hooked onto it. I'd look at the ingredients and be like, what is this? What is that? What is this technique? What did he say? What is sauteing? We never heard of this. What is searing? In our kitchens, we don't listen to it. We don't listen to these terms. And I kept telling, what are these things? I need to be curious. I need to keep this alive. And then I put all my savings, all my allowances into buying the ingredients, into buying baking supplies, and man, did I give my mom a ride using her kitchen. But one thing that I learned from this is to always keep your curiosity alive. Question, ask, and never assume. Always ask. Be it the most silliest question, be it the most stupidest thing, but ask and keep that curiosity going. It will really help you evolve. Then came the pivotal age of being in the 12th grade. My parents thought, okay, she's going to be an engineer, a doctor, or an IAS officer. These are the three careers that we have chalked out for her. But I said, no, I want to be a chef. And they were perplexed. My mom was like, you really want to turn a hobby into a career? Are you sure this is what you want to do? And I said, yes, of course, Mama. And of course, there came a lot of neighbors, a lot of people asking, "Tu bartan dhona chahti ho? Is that what you want to do? Really? Bawarchi? Like, tum to ladki ho, think about this. You don't have the physical strength. You won't survive 2 days. And I was like, who knows? None of us know. Not my family comes from this industry or anybody that I closely knew who came from this industry. So, so something that I did as a absolute naive 17-year-old was tell my mom, listen, Mama, one day you look at me in newspaper articles you'll give me in magazines and probably even on a billboard, and that day you will tell me you're proud of me, and I will make this happen. I had no idea what I was talking about. I just, with sheer dumb confidence, just blurted it out and said, this is going to happen. And I think subconsciously I was telling myself and training my mind to work towards it. It really brought a sense of accountability that when you say something, make it happen. Doesn't matter what it takes, doesn't matter if it will actually happen, but at least work towards it relentlessly. So, even at the age of 17, I was like, maybe. I forgot about it. I forgot I ever told her this. I forgot I even mentioned this. And it did happen. And I was really glad. So, this part of my life was all about, stick to what you say. Now you are accountable for your career. You're not going to be able to say, you don't need to do engineering, it didn't work out. I had no alibi as such. So, even with who you want to become, if you ascertain at least where you want to be, whether it happens or not is secondary, but at least visualize that for yourself. Manifest that for yourself. Put it on your vision board. Tell yourself that yes, it's going to happen and I am going to make it happen. So once I was done with my colleging, I did well, touch wood. I joined the ITC Group of hotels. I got a great opportunity to be a management trainee with them. Just to give you a gist, just about 6 of them pan-India get selected for this program to be a chef. So it is quite intensive. A lot of people tend to quit it midway because you're working for 14 hours, you're working for 16 hours, and you're standing on your foot all day long. So it's not a conventional desk job. You are planning for the day, you're accountable for somebody's food, you're accountable for somebody paying a lot of money. And at the end of the day, if they say, this is not good, it really backfires. And trust me, all of those Gordon Ramsay moments that you see, the plate flying at you, it's happened. I'm not going to lie. So, it was a lot of work, but it also gave me a great foundation to build my skills. I just put my head down, worked on getting better, worked on my skills, and tomorrow nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can steal my skills. Nobody can tell that you won't survive on your own. I will, because I was confident about my skills. Because at around 22, 23, I was a manager who was leading a team of about 12 to 15. And we had a diverse group of 48-year-olds, 50-year-olds reporting to me. And that brings in a sense of, you have to be confident with what you're doing. Otherwise, how will people respect it? How will people even listen to what you have to say? So, I think please focus on building a foundation, be confident, hone your skills, work on your skills, and then the world is your oyster. Then once I was done with ITC, I thought, this is too comfortable. The comfort is getting to me. The corporate world is getting to me. Everything seems so rosy, things are automated. I felt like I didn't have enough challenges, and like any other sane person, I quit it. I said, you know what, I'm just going to leave this behind and I'm going to focus on building something for myself. And that's when I started my own venture or my own patisserie called Naomi Patisserie and Bistro. So, how did I fund this? I had a small wedding. Every Indian family has a budget for weddings. So I said, let's put my wedding budget into my business. It's only going to help us and nothing else. So we got married on my terrace, and my husband was super supportive of this. He's also a chef and he's my pillar of strength. So then that's when we started small. I started out of an apartment. I set up a kitchen and I was the only one working. So coming from a corporate background where everything's taken care of and you have to focus only on making the food, I was here with sheer dumb confidence again, saying, let's make this happen. So I know how to make a product really well. And I was decently okay with selling it. But all the other aspects of the business were really new to me. The finances, the marketing, the packaging, the logistics, and I was managing it all by myself because I took this decision. So I would start my day at 5 in the morning, finish up all my cakes, have enough time to take good pictures of it because I had to market it. Then I would deliver it, come back, and then I remember this one particular day where someone said, if you do this workshop, you will get paid 5,000. So I was like, great. I mean, let's take every opportunity that presents itself because I've decided I have to make this happen. So I did the workshop, I came back and I was doing a catering of 30 people where I was doing a specialized chocolate buffet and I had to be there. So by the time I went to bed, it was 3 in the morning, but with sheer satisfaction. And it might sound rosy, but then I was like, okay, compared to my corporate job, what I would have earned in a week, I've earned in a day. So I can make this work. And that's where the confidence started building. So everything was going great. And here, one thing that I learned is the power of vulnerability. I was vulnerable and I showed it. I said, yes, I'm building this from scratch. And what that helped me was with a great sense of authenticity and also great sense of connection with my clients, with my industry peers. There were so many of my chef mentors pushing me and saying, listen, she started a business, why don't you order? Why don't you try her stuff? So this sense of community is very, very important. Regardless of which industry you come from, always build this community, build this network where people are being your cheerleaders. Your initial marketing will be word of mouth. Then comes everything else. At least starting a small business, that's how I would see. Then, while everything was going well, I lost my dad. It was a big blow. It came with so much of uncertainty. It sort of completely put me off track. But what I decided then was my dad always kept saying, I want to see you as a successful woman entrepreneur. Make it happen. I know you will and make me proud. So that's when I decided let's take the next big risk, which is to expand into a retail outlet, into a restaurant. So my husband's also a chef. He brings the salt, I bring the sugar. We thought we make the perfect match. Let's start a restaurant. Let's build this. Let's see how it goes. And touch wood, it was going well. We expanded to 2 more outlets in Hyderabad with the name Naomi Patisserie itself. And while I was doing this, a great and big opportunity of my life came through, which was to be a judge on MasterChef India Telugu. So, MasterChef as a franchise was entering into regional market. Post-COVID, we've seen that regional content has really taken off. People really relate to it, and this is something that Sony was experimenting with as well. So when this opportunity came, I said, yes, I want to do it. Absolutely, no doubt. But I didn't know the language. I was like, I'm telling myself internally, yeah, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know the language. I don't know it fluently. So I had 2 months. I relentlessly went to spoken Telugu classes. I watched movies. I spoke to everybody in Telugu who knew the language and broken Telugu. I was like, oh, speak to me, please. This is how you help me out. So the fact of the matter is that when an opportunity presents itself, just go at it. Figure out how will you make it work later, because you will make it work. Once you say yes to that opportunity, everything falls into place. And I truly believe in this. It is a big milestone in my career, but something that happened as a byproduct of this was that I started getting a lot of messages from every nook and corner saying, I'm really inspired to be a chef because of you. And that for me was the biggest win. A lot of girls, a lot of women telling me that, listen, chef, I showed my parents your video and they are more confident now that I can make it in this industry, that something can be built from this. Because there is still a stigma prevalent about women entering this industry, about women being chefs and qualified chefs. And post-COVID, that narrative is changing. And for me to be, in a small way, a part of that narrative is a bigger milestone than anything else. So, the greatest glory in living lies not in never failing, but rising every time we fall. Dream big and be what you want.